What's up everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Sound. Today let's get started with Ariel Helwani exposes Dana White in his feud with Francis Ngannou in the MMA Hour, in which Ariel Helwani breaks down the UFC Vegas 73 press conference, and brings receipts in response to Dana White's statements about Francis Ngannou and the PFL.
This is what Dana White had to say about Francis Ngannou signing with the PFL.
You know, based on what I know about the deal, which is not much.
By the way, can you pause there? My favorite is, based on what I know about the deal, which is not much, and then proceeds to talk about it for like 6 minutes. So just remember the not much part when you're listening to all of this.
It makes no sense to me. I mean, you're going to pay a guy not to fight for a year, and it's already been like 18 months. He's fought 3 times in the last 3 years.
Okay, pause it right there. Now, the pay a guy for a year thing I think is very interesting because, as you guys know, a promotion that is not the UFC, you know, they have to sweeten the pot a little bit. So by saying that, is he referring to the fact that they're giving him like a stipend, because there's some promotions are doing this, like, you know, there's some fighters that get this sort of like monthly salary. Now, are they paying him not to fight, or was it part of the deal that like, hey, I'm going to get this boxing match out of the way, and then I'm going to fight for you guys? Still, you got to sweeten the pot. That's just, that's just what it takes to get big name fighters to sign with you if you're not the UFC. Now, this idea that he hasn't fought in 18 months is very conveniently framed. We all know he's coming off major knee surgery. And if you look at his activity prior to that, fought twice in 2019, fought in May of 2020. Of course, the pandemic screwed everything up. And you remember after the Jairzinho Rosenstrike fight, he was banging the drum to get a fight, wanted to fight, all the stuff with Jon Jones and all that stuff, and then came back and fought Stipe in March of 2021, and then fought Cyril Gane in January of 2022. So between February of 2019 and January of 2022, which is 3 years, he fought 5 times. Now, he hasn't fought in 18 months because he's coming off ACL surgery and was a free agent and had to deal with all that. So to frame that he hasn't fought, he fights once every year, this and that, is a bullshit way of framing all of this. So I just want you to remember like what the actual facts are. Please continue.
It's just not what we do here. It's not what we do. And
please pause it there. I'm sorry. We just have a lot to talk about. What does it mean, it's not what we do here? What does that even mean, it's not what we do here? Like, guys fighting once a year is not what you do? Like, what does that mean? When's Khamzat fighting again? When's the last time he fought? Like, Nate Diaz sat on the sidelines, was iced because of his contract. What is he referring to exactly by not what we do here? Not what we do? Like, you don't give fights. Like, remember in the early days of the pandemic, Conor couldn't get a fight? Again, he always loves to say the thing about the 3 fights a year. We got to give them 3 fights a year. And yet, they don't offer the 3 fights a year. The 3 fights a year thing is not true. It's an average that he has come up with 3 fights a year. I can show you a lot of fights. When's the last time Dustin Poirier fought? He fought in November. He's fighting again in July. You think he's fighting 3 times this year? Do you think he turned down 3 fights? No, it's all nonsense.
Joe Rogan responds to Tyson Fury and agrees with Dana White. Jon Jones is the baddest man in the planet.
Fedor, man, the fact that like seconds later he catches him in an armbar.
Yeah.
Cut him in the Kimura.
Special guy.
Oh, my God. Fedor was, when we look at GOATs.
He's got to be in there.
He's got
to be in there.
Like, there's no one. I think Jon Jones, if you want to say who's the best ever.
Yeah.
God, it's hard to argue with Jon Jones.
Yep.
Never lost, beat everybody, fought everybody.
Yep.
Smashed everybody, and then goes up to the heavyweight and makes it easy.
Yep.
I mean, obviously you can't do MMA math, but if you look at what Francis Ngannou had a long fight with Cyril Gane, and Jon Jones just took him apart instantaneously.
In seconds, yeah.
Yeah,
he's an animal. He's super talented. This is a guy that if he stays straight, like on everything, also the outside fighting, it's going to be very hard to beat. He's got no patterns.
Right.
He doesn't have any pattern. It's constantly switching. It's like hard to figure a guy like that out. I was training him. I was interviewing him before a fight in Albuquerque, and they flew me over for Inside MMA. And he says, "What are you doing afterwards?" I said, "Oh, I go to the hotel. I'm going to eat something." He says, "Man, can you train me for an hour?" I go, "Sure, yeah, I would love that." So we're on the focus mitts, and I let him hit a 4 shot, and he goes, dude. I say, go faster. You're faster than this. He goes, pa. I said, dude, go fast. I said, just think this. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Just think that in your head. And he goes, and he stops, and he looks at me, go like, dude. I go, yeah, because this is how I work with sound effects. If you keep them high pace, your body will automatically trigger, and you're going to be that fast. I go, dude. So 2 weeks later, I have Greg Jackson on the show, and he's walking in on Inside MMA. I go, Greg, what's up? And he goes, I'm doing good. He said, what have you been doing to the gym? I go, what do you mean? He says, everybody's making these stupid, crazy sound effects. I say, are they faster and more explosive? He goes, yeah. I go, you're welcome, dude.
Where did that come from? Is that something you just invented yourself?
I always did that. You know, I put combination, only reload punches, there's a beat. So if I say 2 and a cross hook, will be 2, and then a cross hook. So pa. That's the first, in my mind, it's already. When I throw a combination, it's immediately identified with a pattern. So with 3 shot, 1, 2, 3, and then a liver shot cross, ta. That's in my head right away. Pa pow. And I always been doing that somehow. It's really weird.
Michael Bisping reacts to Devin Haney win against Lomachenko.
Apparently a crappy win at the weekend, a crappy scorecard between Lomachenko and Dana. I didn't see that fight. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. I did watch it. Sorry, I'm just taking a look at these notes. Yeah, it was not great. It was not great. All the rounds are pretty competitive. For anyone that watched it, I don't think anyone would disagree. They were competitive, but I thought it was pretty clear to me. I thought Lomachenko won, but you know, boxing is like, even though I was in my mind said, oh, yeah, Lomachenko definitely won that fight, I still thought, who knows though? It's boxing. You have no idea.
Isn't that awful though? That you have to factor that into the equation. That's such a sport, a great, magnificent, and dangerous sport like boxing that is so established throughout hundreds of years that when you're waiting for the result, you have to factor into the equation. Yeah, but it's boxing. So you never know.
Yeah. Like it could be a clear, unanimous decision one way. Now, maybe there wouldn't be one round that would be contested, and you still don't know for sure.
I never saw it, of course, but so it was kind of close then, you said?
Yeah, it was competitive for sure. It was very, very competitive. There was only a few rounds I thought that were clear. So I wouldn't say that it was a robbery, but I had Lomachenko winning.
The feedback that I saw online on Twitter and things like that was that Lomachenko got robbed. Brian just says in the note that they're going to contest the decision, put an appeal in.